Well, hi everyone. It's been a busy day again today. I had my third appointment to have the shot in my eye for the macular degeneration, and my dear friend Kay drives me there and waits for us. I usually take her out to lunch, and today we went to the Japanese restaurant and we had tempura and some other goodies, miso soup, and we shared some calamari as well. And then we stopped at like Trader Joe's on the way back to pick up a few things and home. And I was going to go over there for dinner, but I was so tired and I just wasn't even hungry at the point. And I called her and asked if I could just beg off, and she was happy because she was as exhausted as I was. She had a very hard day yesterday and the day before. So I'm home tonight, and when I thought I might be going out, so I thought, well, rather than watch the depressing news about Iran, why not just do another video? Because I still have all these decks that I have yet to do videos on. So I went and I looked at the ones I haven't had, and a lot of them are not new decks. They're decks that have been around a while, but they're new to me. So the one I'm going to do today is, if I can find it. Oh yes, here it is. Okay. This is the one I'm doing today. It's a sweet little deck, and it's called Pam's Vintage Tarot. Pam's Vintage Tarot. There we go. And obviously the cards are smaller, so I'm going to take out my wonderful little reliable tiny knife here and get through this little paper, and we're going to see what this has. I've seen other people do this deck, flip through it, but I haven't seen it for a long time, so it's going to be new, and it's certainly new to me, and never handled the cards. Okay, it's got a typical tuck box, and this obviously must be the back of the cards. I believe it is from what I remember. And it says here, original art, Pamela Coleman Smith, restored by Real. I think that's A-L-L. And then it's copyright from Lucky Card 2018. And it said this is a limited edition Pam's Vintage Tarot, bridge size, 78 tarot cards and extra art and title card, limited edition. So this way you can see what this box looks like if you ever want to see one for sale and you want to know if it's the same deck. Okay, and so let's look into this little tuck box and see what we've got in here. Ooh, they're borderless, which is lovely. Okay, these must be the extra cards here. Oh, interesting that they're not giving you the, they're not marked. So, yeah. So this I know is the Ten of Wands, but interestingly enough, this is a new deck, but it's not in order of anything. Wow. Okay, well, I'm just going to show you the cards as they reveal themselves this way. Yeah, this is very interesting. Okay, well, let me just look at the cards themselves. Okay, it looks like a pretty thick deck. There we go, pretty thick. The cardstock is nice. It's flexible, but it's not wimpy, and it's not overly thick. The colors are wonderful in this deck, by the way. But so let's just go through it. I'll go through it kind of quickly here. We've got obviously the Ten of Wands here. I wonder why it's not in order. We've got the Four of Pentacles. I just wonder if someone else had this deck and rewrapped it and called it a new deck. It feels like a new deck. But I guess High Priestess, I think. Okay. I don't know whether that's the Queen of Pentacles or the King of Pentacles. Since nothing's in order, I can't really tell. So I'm just going to show the cards and let you all figure out what they are. There's the fellow stealing away with the Seven of Swords. And obviously we know the Devil card. Five of Cups. I like the little bridge size. It'd be something easy to carry on. Got the Three of Pentacles. Wow. Trying to figure out what she is. Here we go. I'm just going to keep showing these without talking too much. I'll just guess what some of them are. This is obviously the Eight of Wands. I love the muted colors in here. There's a lovely antique quality about them. Obviously that's the King of Cups. And the Five of Swords. Yeah, interesting. I'll rearrange them according to their suits later, just to see if I could figure out some of the cards I'm not sure of. I mean, Six of Wands is always pretty obvious. And again, the Five of Wands. And the One of Cups, yeah. It's so funny. Yeah, I think this was upside down. Whoops. I fell. But the way it was sitting in here, it almost looked like it was upside down. I'm going to have to look at somebody else reviewing this and see how, when they open a new deck, how they're arranged. Eight of Pentacles. I think that's the Hierophant, but I'm not positive. I didn't realize that none of these cards would be marked. I mean, I think I recognize most of them now, but when I bought this deck quite a while ago, I probably wouldn't have known what some of these cards were, other than counting the obvious wands. I'm always very partial to the Rider-Waite Hermit, the traditional hermit. I just like the energy behind it, of him going within himself and just yet holding a light to the world. See, I'm not sure which one is. Okay. And obviously the Seven of Pentacles. So anyone who has a Rider-Waite certainly knows these images, but it's nice to see them in a smaller deck, borderless, and that lovely antique quality. Okay, now obviously this must be one of the freebie cards. But yeah, I think somebody had this deck before and repackaged it as a new deck. I can't imagine, I've never seen a deck where the cards were just so haphazardly stuck in there like this. And this obviously is another one of the free cards. I'm just guessing. I'm going to have to count these two to make sure that they're all here. Yeah, because some of these cards I just don't recognize. Like, I don't recognize that artwork per se. Very interesting. I don't recognize this either. So as soon as I finish this video, I'm going to go on YouTube and see if I can find it. Okay, there we have it. That's typical Rider-Waite artwork. And so is this the nostalgia card. Five of Pentacles is, again, very easily recognizable. They haven't changed that. Okay, King of Pentacles. And the Fool. Yeah, this deck has definitely been mixed up. Or maybe that's just the way they did it. But it's going to take a while to make sure that I have all the cards. So, I mean, that's the King. Obviously, I think the King of Swords or Queen of Swords, I think it's a King. But I'm not positive. This is the I don't like what you're offering me. I want a better offer. Okay. And this obviously, I think the Page of Pentacles. And we all recognize the Death card. And there's the beaten up but still standing fellow with all of his wands. I've been getting that in my President Trump readings a lot, that card. Okay, this is Page of Cups. And Ace of Pentacles. Going on to a new life. Okay. Well, I guess this must be the Queen of Swords, so the other one was obviously the King of Swords. And we have the Ten of Pentacles. I always call that the Happy Wife, Happy Life card. I always love the little dogs in the pictures too. But I just love the artwork. And the cardstock is really lovely. The box is, you know, nothing to write home about. It's your typical tuck box. This is one of those things I would probably make a little bag for it, because trying to get things in and out of a tuck box after a while, they just give up and get really ratty looking. And always the powerful Tower card. And the Ace of Cups. I guess we have the World card. The obviously Four of Wands. Knight of Wands. Chariot. Judgment. I always like to think of that as the Ascension card. And I always look for the Two of Swords. It's one of my favorites. You know, the Hermit, the Two of Swords are two that I really, really love. Love those cards. There's the Ace of Wands. And again, I don't know what this one is for sure. I don't know whether this is an extra card or what. But it's pretty. And here's another couple. Yeah, they have these cards all in strange order. I'm very suspicious about this deck having been used, and I may be totally wrong about my suspicions. Look at that. That's a title card in the middle of the deck. Nothing seems to be in order. They call this Lucky Card 2018, Pam's Vintage Tarot, second limited edition, bridge-size cards. Original R. Pamela Coleman Smith, restored by Real. Let this card, and the English on this is where it said, let this cards bring you a vision and show the way to better future. This sounds like someone in a foreign country, because no one would say, let this cards brings you a vision. I have a feeling this may be one of those rip-off decks. I don't know. Ten of Swords. And I always like the Moon card. I always look for interesting Moon cards. And the classic Rider-Waite is always lovely. And Star. Now this is numbered. The 6 is the Lover's card. So that one's numbered. And then we have the Delusion card of Cups. 7 of Cups. Now this is the third sword card that looks like it's very strange. Okay, here we go. Just keep going through them rather fast here. I hope I'm not rushing them too much, but everybody kind of knows the Rider-Waite, so this is the Knight of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles. The 7 of Wands. Holding he's on his high ground, holding everything in place. You've got the lovely 10 of Cups, which is another happy wife, happy life card. And then we have the Magician. It's so funny how some of the cards, well, the Magician is numbered, it's got the 1 there. And then you've got the Hangman. 2 of Cups. Knight of Swords. Page of Swords. And 4 of Swords. 3 of Swords. 9 of Pentacles. I've always liked the 9 of Pentacles. The bird and the beautiful gardens and the lovely lady. And then we have here, I guess it's the King of Wands. Yeah, King of Wands, I think. I think we have the Queen of Wands. And Strength card is always one of my favorites. I love some of the Strength cards that deviate a little bit from Rider-Waite. I have one deck where the Strength is showing it more with the Lamb. Very sweet. And I don't remember what deck it is, but it's very sweet. Okay, we have the 6 of Wands. I guess it can be someone who's being altruistic and generous, or it could be somebody bribing somebody, right? It just depends on how you look at it. And then we have your typical Sun card. Rider-Waite Sun card. And you have the Ace of Swords. And again, this looks like another extra card here. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of extra cards. It's very strange. I wonder how many are in here. There's another one. And another one. So you've got the all these unknown cards in here. And it just it says it's a restore deck. And it says 78 cards plus extra art and title card. So let me see how these shuffle, because I'm going to put them back in order, what I know the order to be, but I'm going to look at some other openings of this deck and see how this compares, to make sure that like I have all the cards. But I think I had more than one Ace of Swords in here, which is very bizarre if that was the case. but maybe I'm just seeing things. Okay, so let me just try to shuffle these and see. Shuffling fine. Really nice. It'd be a very easy cards to work with. And yeah. Yeah, very nice. And I like the back. I like the antique looking backs. Let's see, I'm sure they're going to riffle shuffle just fine too. Let's find out. Yeah, but sometimes when the cards are a little sturdier like this, they don't riffle shuffle as easy. Now these are good quality cards. They are on the thick side, but not too thick. But they're not so thick that I can't riffle shuffle them. Okay. So there we go. So that's this lovely Pamela Coleman Smith limited edition vintage tarot. So I'm going to head off here and look at some YouTube videos of this and just make sure that this is the right deck. There are a lot of suspicious things about this deck right now. That wording that I read to you just does not sound like this is something written in this country. I don't know where this was made, but it's very strange. So before I leave you on this short video, I'm going to go through my Ascension cards here, mix them up really good. Okay, and pick one out, and let's hope I get a different one here. Okay. Oh, we have a new one. We didn't get the same 3 or 4 cards that have been constantly coming up. I guess Spirit is tired of hearing me complain about that. So I'll show you the card. And it says, by recognizing your goodness and the goodness of others, you feed your spirit with the food of divinity. Good thought of the day. So everyone, I wish you a lovely evening, a lovely tomorrow, and a lovely forever. Namaste, everybody. I love you. Good night.